So you might be asking yourself, why do hackers love small and medium-sized businesses? Well, there's a couple different reasons why. The first is they have low budgets. What I mean by that is they don't necessarily invest a lot in IT infrastructure and cybersecurity protections. It doesn't mean you don't have computers. It doesn't mean you don't have servers, firewalls, things like that. But it's not really a planned out methodology. Most small, medium-sized businesses start very small and they organically grow over time. And what you find is that the growth doesn't necessarily align with your IT infrastructure, right? And there's not a technology roadmap. The other is outdated tools, right? It's all too common for small and medium-sized businesses to keep a computer that until it dies. And what happens is after a certain amount of time, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 years goes by, the firmware and security updates are no longer viable, right? The manufacturers no longer provide it. It provides you, on average, there are 42 patches between firmware and security that happens on your computer on a monthly basis, on average. If you multiply that out times 2 years of not receiving any updates, imagine all the holes that hackers have found at that point to get into your network, because your weakest link is either going to be your people or your technology. The second is no training, right? It's just awareness. It's interesting, you know, I've been in this industry for 32 years, and it wasn't until probably the past couple of years clients have actually brought up the word cybersecurity or hack to me or to AIS. You know, AIS is a full technology company that deals in multiple different varieties of technology. And it used to be talking about specific widgets. And now it's business owners saying, I'm concerned that my employees don't know what to or not to do, or me as a business owner, what to and not to do. And so the real big push right now is to really make sure that there's awareness, there's training and understanding, and also testing, right? To make sure that your employees are not clicking on those nefarious links, for instance. Distracted owners, right? One of the things that I love about talking to small and medium-sized business owners is that they traditionally wear multiple hats, right? They are not focused on one particular thing. They're trying to grow their business, they're trying to handle their clients, they have their employees they're dealing with, they're making sure that they pay all their taxes and the lights are on and all those different types of things. There's just a lot of hats that most traditional owners of a small and medium-sized business have to really be able to focus on those things like cybersecurity and IT. And also a false belief that we're not a target. Eric was talking about that briefly. I do hear that sometimes, surprisingly, from medical clinics, and they're probably one of the largest targets, right? Whenever you talk about not only financial information, personal information, but also HIPAA and medical records information. So these are some of the things that we look at.